getting one so got you something there. Geshe Chonga Tsering lare kung lobjong tsoma zo sate tam boyani zachikaka gelu gumba cheshu zaseshu gumba tani yongzrendo tani jagala yanbo yu Geshe patani zrengo tani mombo 양지 아쿠마테세 또 노드 잠치 공부로지요. Today is like Geshe Tsering Chonga Tsering, and generally he's come from Zachika and near the Patrul Mani Wo, and also there is very huge Gelu monastery called the Zasechu Gumba, and he principally studied that, and then he went to in India, and also he spent many years in India monasteries. And like this, now he's going to teach. Matthew, okay? I think you can look it.
Sadadati Dharma city ni ola randa Patrul likin number chazang babar toya Mönlam de la pipiga nedorum bochigu pipiga jasur pumo chamala tomna chamre treji de la shoyo.
So to start with, I would like to express Tashdele to all those here in Dharma city, and in particular Patrul and the other Geshe, and in particular also Metorum Boche.
And all everybody.
Everyone.
네, 저다 다다가 디가가 뭐지가 주께서나 가리나 송시 송디가라 아직 가당는 진이 리조이마도 수조원이 지 디가가 지 보반도다 대가야매 배 미미 좀 지체서나 오늘 다다다 들음 디나라 강가 법적 전통본도 자리 많은 것들이 줄이고 persona 마치 비슷하고요.
Okay. Firstly, Geshe says that today is like Rinpoche's order to me to say that from my perspective, and I maybe it's like not in this case, and therefore, and there is also many like kind of the Dharma learned, and therefore, but anyway, he's going to say.
다 지르스나리 아까에 있던 지금 방금에서 딱까지던 시작하나 마스크 준니마도 이제 모두가 답부터 다 수도가 나주 메시나 기장조 때리다 있네요. 대란요 수도 냠용다 주어도 진짜 금냠된다 강기탁이나요. 잠바에서 일리르스 지고 진짜디에스.
Generally, he says like I'm a little bit kind of not rich to others, or a little bit how do you say it's like not really to say, but it's not uneducated because he doesn't speak another country's language. But today it's like his almost life is spent for the Dharma. He has some experience, and therefore, and he says, I'm going to say something.
드니다 다다데 저다 저런 넘어서 생나 쇼나 자치는도 야지 잡던도라 드니 갈라티가 갈송도 세나 샤점형 취재와 산진 넘나 잡선지 주나 현재 삼바 소란에 잡선지스 어예 듣던 건지 되셨는데 어떻게 받기라 대가르에서는 다다다가 저 통통만 뭐도 니 지나야 기업이 됐으면도라 니 시즈 보야 되게 감도 뭐 강타겠네요 참고요 되면서 양 텐스를 얘나야 대가랑가 가르
지금 페이지 칸이 되고
야지 잡던
just 잡던
야지 잡던
just or he said, I'm going to teach you in the page 87 from the, it says that until I attain the heart of the enlightenment, and I take refuge in the bodhicitta, and this so on. And the next one is like just as all the Buddhas of the past and embraced the awakened attitude of the mind. And today's also short times, and I'm going to detail about from this text.
드네 다다 제당 가서 다 통다견을 해와니 세와 나긴기 마소 가르치어서나 다 방어장 좀 저도 심지에서 소라레 당어도 배워 간지지나야 특정 심지 그 지선바데 증거데 타고 친구 추원로다 뭐로데 대투돼요. 그래서 가서 또 제가 다다 가르쳐 줄 거잖아. 탁증 주줄 거래. 탁증 주려라.
Now it's like generally speaking, and at the beginning and the end, and we were already talking about, particularly in the beginning, we need to generate bodhicitta. When we are generate bodhicitta, and then it's like we are on the path of the Mahayana, and also we are practicing, learning about the Mahayana's path.
드네 다다데 탁증 주 답고요야자 다 타고 친구 다도 숨어서세데 소수 랑결라 심지에메라데
And also when we are to practice the Mahayana path, we are to be in the Mahayana's path of the Mahayana practitioner. That is, it depends on our motivation of the bodhicitta.
yanza tate digala ngaso nadi shokhene kachi wasena shochena yuge sanje da yanjim samba tamche 다 남아 도전 좀 침발라 소가 담지 공소 소르전 공소 혼데 담이 담이 되니 샹치 심 테거레스.
In the morning we say that all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas residing on the 10 directions, all the Mahayanas, Bodhisattvas on the 10 level, and this is like kind of the invocation and the supplication to say is like to thank all the Buddha and Bodhisattvas who have dwelt in the 10 directions. I'm going to take like Buddhist vows.
드네 쇼전의 유게 산지 당 세원이가 다 산지 좀된 다 소양다 러버리 다 ndanda lama jawa sedang jiwa tamje daja domba nyammi shacha sengi zori jiwi jajin juji samo daji la soba chundrung gojobe badan lama da di dada chusong diga da marana Patrul rumbuchi ga zori jiwi ga dinalo la da soya satamni dine lama la choban barwa da lama la lami zani ga domba shoya or dinde chasa jiwa res
all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and that we are visualized in the front of theirs, Bodhisattva and the Saggis, like kind of the representative of the trees, and to dwell in the front and there, or the visualize, and the included principle is the Buddha Shakyamuni, and then it's like all the Buddhas past, present, futures, and also included there is the older lineage holder of the root teachers, and included all the Dharma cities, lamas.
디나는 대대다등이 바다 라마 란나 바트를 뭐제세 무슨 스모고 dimsan 가인세나 저당 라마테 다 신경 된서 세나리 람제자와 신경 된서 세다 람게 자반도보다 맞잖아보다 신경 된서 라토데요 그래서.
And today I'm just to say it's like funny things and says the glories of the Ranyak Bhatta. Why I'm calling to that, he said I have reasons. When we enter into the path, and all the path is like kind of the good, bad, it depends the root teacher, and therefore I'm saying this word.
등에 벨레다 가야면서 그래서 능이 될라 지고야 멜라 벨렌다고 제 라말라티 못된다고 돼 가야면서.
I'm not kind of saying something plaster or flattery, or how do you say it's flattery? Yeah, I'm just not necessarily for me to say something plastery or flattery.
대단 코너 형은 가르송은나 라마 산지 라마주 디게 라마 겐던디 건지 시보 라마데 라마나라 상자 로스니 건기 시보 산지 주 겐던 강가 시보를 상니가 된지가 자 침보 되자래스.
In the text says the root teacher is the Lama, Lama is the Buddha, Lama is the Dharma, Lama is the Sangha. And also it's like the all, everything is to done, to install, or like that is the individual root teacher.
다다다 되게 추송돼 나로라 지게 가로 기비게 남그 연된지 란젤라 찌다 맞지 세야데 소소가 라마 교커지야다 라마라 줘바지야다 라마라 도바지야데 하장 같이 뭐래서 용거 나로라 송요래서
whoever dwell in this here and to serve or to obey or something is like to physically, verbally, and these things to offer or to help to the teachers are very important.
라마데 선지 좀 되는데 끝서버렸어요. 끝서버세나 자습세나리 찹세나리 도시를 추당 거는 선지랑 그 넘버 담마도에서 비비신이 넘버 때니 둘이 펴고요래서.
And the teacher is the representative of Buddha, and Buddhas cannot reach his next generations, and then the Buddha is to make the emanation for the spiritual friend, and then is teaching Dharma.
근데 넘버 배경에서 다 배경은 가서 어서 다다니 라야가 주파티 자진 조지 사모다지 냠레실 jel라서 주비고 배경은 실름 죽사 빠임도 그랬어. 빠임도 딜라마디 빠임도 그래. 가르치는 티실부터 강가데 라마라데니 도샬 주고 해서 티 빠임도 빼래. 빠임세나 뉴분도와 어디 나긴 게 됐어. 라마디 실부터 받은 주도 주세데 어디 난가때도 그랬어.
Why I'm saying this? Because it's like when we are receive the Buddhist vows. The Buddhist vows, there's two traditions. One is like the profound of the view of the Buddha. One is like the large, vast tradition of the Buddha's activities. According to these two lineages, holder or the giver bestow the student is by the teacher, and the teacher is like the pipe, and in order to receive the lineage's water or lineage's blessings through Buddha and from Buddha through the teachers, and then a student is received.
현재 다들 현상이 라마데 자침보에서 답을 나름 제몰라서 용 친구나로라 라마 자침보에 기비신이 자침보에 기세대데 소소 냠도거나 또 란젤 찍거나 라마 마탄 받치냐마 라마 메핑 하러나 산지상이 마이메 가로 돈도 산지나 라마탄 달리고 and 라마 달리 팀이 형성됐어.
And also in the many different like sutta and thantras, and also the Tsongkhapa's Laram Chimbo, the path of the Tsongkhapas, and many like the described to says like, and without lamas there's no name of the like Buddha or enlightened ones. All the past, present, the future Buddhas also rely on the teacher, and therefore, and very for the most important perspective, I'm saying that.
현재 다들 현재 다들 가서나 될 잡선 로단데라 향집은 향원 치지 버렸어. 그래서 향집은 향원 치지가 받아서 치긴도 어디 됐어 버렸어. 라마라 잡선 로한테 저서 향집 받은 치지 받더니 디지선 장게연 디지스 종게연 디냠는 제가 가지고 나가 하다 받다 제에 송거렸어.
And also when we are taking refuge in the Lama, and how we are like kind of duration of to take the refuge in the teacher, he said that until I attain the heart of the enlightenment, And until when we enter, when we be or the Buddhahood, and until there, I do my best and to take refuge in the teacher. And now it's like this today's speech is according to how to rely on the spiritual friends, and also today is like quite easy. I'm not Lama, and also I'm just a simple monk. And according that, today's like speech is according to the how to rely on the spiritual friend.
제가 다다디 산지 남라 잡수지 다 잡수 체당 가르르스나 산지다 추다 겐달라 잡수서 다 규jan다고다는 디지선 정기 예세디 고달라 산지 가서 산지 추다 산지 남라 잡수지 추다 산지 삼바에 솔라에 되게 잡수지 다 산지 꿈도 추금도 겐도 꿈도 좀 당겨 너도 몸부잖아 주슬라면도다 예 뭐겠는 용도더라 얘네야 산지 주 겐단 섬딩 디나가 겐다들라 다 추대 산지대 잡동바오레 잡동바데 카동거레 디 산지 주 가르가들 람간남게 강가동 금버 산지 코라레 디기 땅저저 소소게 드시 냠날라 겐디 소소 란조라 제오나 디 돈도지거라 산지 소소 산지야다 또 돈지시게 람데라 추세 데랑 고글람다 고과다 람데 니시거레 고글람니 오레 고글람 니시거레. And next one is take refuge in the Buddha, and then is the next one is the in the Dharma and the Bodhisattva Sanghas, and I likewise take the refugees. He is next one the Buddha and the Dharma, and also he is like the Dharma, and that is the taught by the Buddha, and the Dharma itself. There's two aspects, and one is the path, one is the sensation. 드리추다 산지 추니지다 겐단데라 짭다비 다로스니라 짭다비 다로스나 소소가 짭데 산지다 산지고 고마 데토비아가 다로스나 도보스나 냠나진디가 도소 다딜라 다로스이거리 다 가르르스나 다등의 추속대 다 추속된 송니가 가서 가르치고 그랬으나 당가서 잠니 검정선라 잡수 송니가 가서 티게 람람바 가리고나 타란젤라 기비 탈라 소소럽냐 지거리 티가라 딱 제라도가 담아지니가 근데 느끼는 게 뭐도
and also is the next one is that when we are taking refuge in the Sangha, and also the meaning of the Sangha is the companion. And for instance, this time is we are coming to practice the Mönlam, and during this Mönlams we are supporting each other, and specifically someone is like the work or like kind of helping a lot, and like this is the Sangha.
ngaso de garsena ngaso dasang tabira sonde gegenna garsona achana sogo jimdaga sok nyamdo sokiyore.
And also when we are going to in the school, in the Buddhist universities, all the teachers, they say, like, when you are contribute to work in the monastery, and then your accumulation is the equivalent of the sponsors. And also it's like when we have great opportunities, when we be in the monastery or the center also, and when you are working, you contribute to help to the center, and that is the really great accumulation merit. And also this condition is given the Patrul, and this is great. He says that everybody's have opportunities, and he's thank you, and this is like now he going to stop. That's all. That's all. Then it's questions. That's what can do in the young chihuahua. 데리라 파치 현로도 던디고라 저선 다치 예
Boche tang lama tso tasdele ani ngaji chiwa dikare lana ngazo chujangi tso tamang lama sang jiora ani sang kansin jiore tang sang jasane chu sang jiyo chu kansin hago ore
Thomas.
책 지리도 돈보 람만 주 초서 접용 당하면 송진을 송을 봐 송지 차도 알았어 대 송지도 간디 하고 그랬어 아무 돈보 람만 주 초서 접용서 단 타면 송진을 봐 송진도 간디 하고 그랬어
드니라 저도
and his question is, now we are practicing accumulation merit, and of course, then the end we say we be enlightenment. But there's the questions, how we know when we are be enlightened.
이제 저도라 잡랑도 나가셔서 소소를 저도 토피하서 이 말이 깔레 마보잖니 오늘 타투기 이시세데 가르가르 요메 힘주 지니 방어 투이 준답 시얼지 투이 도마임밥 투이 들리 도걸 주세니 차상 투와디 또 진짜와도 투와 짜치 모래 투이 지원디가 용근나나 상지 공부 톱선나 느리지 종그레 세니가 찬성어 숨지 전이다 비시성어 자철라서가 든지 마보 송여리 도소란줄라 레옹거나 다지 참상 진tâm 반도 진투스나 다 참상 나원다원데 들려옹거나 다 군탕다고 리 땅다고 네 나라야 갈라 간좀 그런 danse 딜리기로 왔다. 맞아 남제 소소지와 나행게 대나게 용거 말해. 갈라 간다 danse 딜리기. 내가 대하 먹어 와도 말해.
Oh, yeah. And firstly, it's very important to study. And when you are study, there is the explanation of the when you become which kind of science coming. You know, there is the great major and minors, like the enlightened qualities. And these things is like when you practice the end, something this kind of to appears, and that means is you are enlightened.
This one, then wasn't the angel did any Kanajak as to China.
Honest. 다 진나 저가 동지요了之后啊都那进的空看送要不就大头不送啊看送这个这里就本期样的工作的该一起多当的有送的年头写着嘛吧都干这个的这么多就过的我是从这些部门都给下了
다시 뜻대로 계시라. 우리 좋아집니다.
Take push Joe, can you close the window?
우리 좋아도 계시라. 아니 주제세가 섭이 계세도 마시브 계세되는 아니 세누소아치도 계세 체유 간디스와 때 사시대도 그죠.
고트
현실 생활 준비했다 될 간에서 맞은 얘기했다 가져오지.
대인지 이거 파티 연기 어야. 책디 송지데 가르리스나 게자 간디 싸나 형치 생각 지심부 그 게자 동 형치 생각 지마즈 그 게자라 가리올 송티고. 최종 가죠.
게자 체지도 아니 거기 세누소아 체지 이와라. 어디 간디 거기 체오라래.
소나 섬나 속 최종도 간데 요래 송래들
다 게자 치지 두두시는 게자 치지 아니 게자 또 쳐래 아니 게자 또 줘래 추도 간데 체도 간데
아 딱대 게자 최종 섬나 게자 체도 간데 총도 간데
야야 나도야 제가 로디가 키와데 스마지
And his question is, when we are doing the accumulation merit, sometimes you're talking about the like a high or middle, and that perspective, which accumulation merit is the bigger and bigger, and one is like small and smallest. How it is this happened? That is the question.
다르디라 제가 심지 그 스무스 세서라 제가 로디 스무스 세데 로 지슈 고 컴퓨터 손다 지금 고 컴퓨터 로텔 직접 선도 요아디 제가 요래 로 지고 고 컴퓨터 전에 지고 대한 로요나 로틴이 직접라 선도 비자데 개완로 탁서 심지 선도 요나 탁서 심지 고 컴퓨터 로요 또지 어예 디기 선도지 게사대야 야고 컴퓨터 로요래 니 콘이 생샤 다티가 책거든나 근데 뭐네 랑도 다디 닥선 뭐였어봐 대랑 사지 릭스지 사지 디스 다죠 사지 릭스 제리 송도 다 사지 릭스나 그 전통보다 간주선 받던 뭐네 가르쳐보다 기타도 쳤어야 제 요즘 말다 얘네야 다 소소 가서 소설 바과이나 로아 용지가 시작이 무슨 줄와 어떤 나게 찾고다 야다나 유석스면나라 와 가서 담마제비 무슨 줄와 시작이 무슨 줄 쏘는제 빠지 형용도 정화침고 근데야 김빈도 어떻게 찾고 비 들리지 찾다 얘네야 다 가르스나 비 제다 상지가 가르스나 간저와 다등이 직접대다 상지라 또 봐라 얘네야 대양 시작이 무슨 줄와 쏘는제 빠지 형 찾아용 찾고 어떻게 그랬다 다소는 침몰이 저 연나
디 gave 최종 내가 책 송도 있다.
이와
로니 송송.
로디 이제 기비 로지 그 같잖아 심지게 옛날에 심지게 개와지 성거나 이 개와 대야 공공비인데 심지에 대야 여러 공부를 거지 심지도 공부를 거나 대신이 찍지라 그 쪽쪽 진다고.
When you are doing the accumulation merit and the accumulation is enhanced by the generation bodhicittas, and when you are bodhicitta there is under accumulation, the action is also like this. This is kind of the supporting each other, and then is your generating bodhicittas grow up, also the accumulation merit also bigger, and therefore the next one is the check is short such
그런 가서대 자기 사람들 라지 선나 가서대 단도와 용지게 시작해요.
And one is like someone's like in the heart to take the birth of the bodhicitta, and that moment is like you are the object of the prestation, you are the like kind of protector to the others, you are the principal based to accumulation, the source of the accumulation merit. Lasso, to us, yes, do not do. Lasso. Honest. Oh yeah, and his questions request to all the Rinpoches, Kembos, and the Geshes, please to tell us in the behind on the wall there's the history of the Buddhas. There's 12 amazement deeds by the Buddha, and what is please could you tell to us?
알았어. 근데 당이 다다디 잡진도와 잡지 비슷해 되지로지야. 다디 맞도 무슨 로라야 지마지겠네. 양 마신 알. 데브리나 다 잡아진 답이들인도와 우리 언제서도 탐구는 지식처럼 좀 장지면 좀 봐야 버세신도와 어때 나긴 게 했다는데 티 저마지기 요래 그래서
지수가는 대책
다 되더니
대콩 tuk하면 돼 메토는 뭐지 알지 송쇼 폐쇼
야 rumbu지데
말말
rumbu지
레고
네
양이 돈보지 책책책데 이제 요도 멤버시아 배는 단다진 송지 셔츠터바 공주고 종커 남바스 샤르포도 몽거지 버레 아 단다진 나케레도 송지 송지 차블라 도르제단 돈보 유음보 갑슬라 단들라 체추 몽보지 단데 졸레 단다진 같이도 남죠 쇼거 지레도 송지 점된데 그딱 공주고 지세그레고 지 삽만단다티 남정 그 진주 논 단지테 담더인데 초막하고 야로푸나라 젠 트룹세 chancholeje onte lombochen gen singi gen chusang gen redoctorna gen gen 트룹 joleje tane dachina ta kunru namjare tandi ishu do yoshu tanala de jiredu kunru zepa chuni se jowa den zepa chuni re. I'm just to say that this is the principle. One is the Buddha's be enlightenment in the Buddha Gaya, and then it's like when you are sitting on the throne. And this is the representative of like this. This true is the monks, is the study is Shari Buddha and the Mongar Jibu, and this two. And the behind there's the six ornament, and like kind of the first the ornament of the elephant, lion, and the antelope, and this crocodile. And this also is like to have the explanation, and that is the principle. And then is the other is there is the that the 12 the Buddhas like deeps and like this, and then is the choten nondo tunda address set the rap the hyonsari then that in kachigo the yima hanzi ma kun chung sari rela tene parche yunden dajina parche tumun korju kosa tombo jasa hyong tande the kun chung sari yunde jasa hyong sari tene ndajina rap the hyong the address sari parche ndajire ju dat sari ndu then ala ndo bareba ndo songi satje ngwa songi ni hasondana kun nambala kare yole redina di chujun kholo koru chi korse teso insan gola nde dotta sare de ndi dotta sandela tere do ndaji zonzo do ndanala peme kaji yu ndo so tsoma ke tanyo mo do chodok do teni se do yore to so jasa teni ndo tere do chujun kholo korsa insan go doch teni 다송후 라쇼 어야 안들린 거 다든도 제레도 중콜고만 꼴사 너 이상 거 samson 거 너도 너 니가래 돼 너다잖아 파도 너나 올라 요듯 돈 받냐는데 윤된다잖아 라라리 파사린들레로 지니 산요 저님 가능 주 다 맞아주나 주니요 그러면 요래저래 어나 준 줬선 드나 거 손대 라박지 냥한데서 봐니 근데 좀 요나 주 어는 드나라 주 한놈라 주니 주니래도 더래 된거 던지서도 드나 you have six and this is I think representative Buddha was in the palace no the first maybe the second is the birth, like a mother of the Buddha, and that is the two. He went to Chuva Narinjan in Damta, and like he became the monk to utter. And this is the how do you say substituted like the four maras, and also this is like the teachings, and then there is the Buddha went to in the God realms for the benefit of the mother, and then Nyangan and then Chungo Kursa, and this side 6, this side 6, that is the 12.
That's the Rumbuchi that not Rumbuchi not so that dig Chanasu Dona Yonke Yonara, you mar Tudigala, Ne Dona Chini, Tamki to Shachi Rondoja, the Titilla, some Sugar Dalla, Soran, Soran, the Laption, Physical Yaratina, Pajaha Kondo Kaundo.
And also there is the pray to the Buddha, the Tamki to Shachi. There is you can to each line to check and easily to understand that. There is one. That's what you. Do you have any questions? Okay, that's all. That Paula do somebody.
Chitotele little also Shina Kuala Gire.
Shana Kavash Jigris.
Shana Kavash Jigris. There, Mujin Mangore.
Chayungu.
That is China Gaji said the Jitang Imere.
And also first, and her question is, when we died, where we reborn?
Chonga Yapo Sag Muni Namko Sosa Dabja Yaboji Lam Yamla Chitiana, they were Chala Sovian Takushan Chigre.
If you practice path during the accumulations, and then maybe you can reborn in the Pure Land.
If you
go under the disturbed emotion, for instance, desire, attachment, jealous, and so on, and also you are harming to others, disturbing to others, and this kind of the cost to make the rebirth in the low dharmas. Yeah. Pugu chung chung sala choban du tanachin.
Pepagi namba dang lumbashina namba ra kepa chimuro yura.
Shuba do nombala. Ah. And his question is Tibetan Buddhism and others Buddhist, there's big difference.
Jadang also Namba said it, Jadang, Nambi Jana Chaprishara Yojamare, Namba Chikwere.
In the Buddhist point, when you say it's like Buddhist, and also in Buddhist Nombase, believer of the inside. And that perspective, there's no maybe different.
Sanji Chura Gendala Jobson Rongazo, Nambare, Remi Ganda Dozola, Jabsa Gandan Zangazola, now my Chandore.
And if you take refuge Buddha Dharma Sangha, and then it's a Buddhist, and if you not take in the Buddha Dharma Sangha, the refuge Buddha Dharma Sangha, then not Buddhist.
Here Nigi Chabade, Jamru Shikori, Jamru Shikori. Tomato, Shan Chabrio Mare, Jamru Yuna, Nambachare, she now in the Pogina by the Chipare.
And also, chance a job pay out on Tushana Poso. And your question is Pebe number Nobashe number Cheva number Imbala Cheva Mares, Chipares, Punjoson, Chosundana, and the Nabachari. According to your questions and the concerning the belief inside, that perspective is there is no different. Your question is good. Number Shimal, Tulu, that this Mendora is Tonga, the Karina, Shit over there in Nepal.
And the Tibetan Buddhism and the others Buddhists, they are a little different with the clothes.
Number Chipa Imbala, number Lajison, yes. Number Chipa Imbala, non si this Mendason.
And generally, is of course all Buddhist, but in there is a little bit different classifications.
Gelon Sebo Tolo Sebo Sajang Kunding Richitua, Thailand Lasoba, Shilanga
And there
Lasoba.
is the like yellow monks
The number Bezinchi.
living in the Thailand and this.
Janan, Korea, Japan Lasoba, number Bezinchi.
And also China and Korea, Japan, these areas also one step of the Buddhist. In Tibet and Mongolia and these areas also some class of the Buddhist. Generally, everybody is going to take refuge Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, but in the practice perspective, they are a little bit different.
Oh,
that. The Geshe said is that to thank you for the children's. Ni chi lam na tata kung ki lambo te la yo shatong khonam bisong ji nomba te la chepa yo mare te yana nyamlen ko la chepa ji yo le re se ji te nomba yemba la nomba nyamlen pa chi ki rondon bar hi dab de na te che re te do ji nomba noni nomba chung chung se che re te do yo nyamlen pa kha hi yen dan sim ke tam sam to ka te 대지 nomba luja chehyuse 대가 mainla temen to techen se chikni yongure di yeba te yore tani ngatu tata kong metorum chi somba nongin ji gelon sebu do tesola sam changla turaba thase ndwa kocho da chi inga chi 대지 chi rondon dong semchen tamchi don drab gona 대지 kalli khafu yore es ngarung rong te jukpo hiwa sonji kompon togo go samte de te sonjik sonji jipare te rung kutuan de zeti sondu tepa de menjiri to temen gelon se bo se ti ne tata kong sondu ji ko Japan Korea bo supon de so chomalan chamchang la techen se tepa chenpo se ji nyam se lanken te nin tachila senchen yen ko ton drop yung sanga na tela jeri do tepa chenpo se te ni ki eva yore ela. I'm just to repeat it to the to Geshe or the Metorum Pachin says like generally based in the Buddhist they are not different. Everybody is taking on the refugee Buddha Dharma Sangha, but Metorum Pachin says in the practice perspective there is a little bit. There's two types of the practitioners. One practitioner only concerning the self. I want to be like a kind of the peace, want to be enlightenment quickly. And that is also is like we a little bit to call the like Thravatas. And of course we can't to say something is like the lower vehicle, but you know in your text is like low and higher and how to say in English? Not we call the Thravatas. Shavakapachika Buddha and the Bodhisattvas, this. And this all the yellow monks, a little bit similarities concerning self, because it's like they want to quickly to be peace. And also in the method which says the like Korea, Japan, China, I think include this Tibet, the Mongolia, all this type of the, they say, we don't know, okay? It's like kind of dedicated for the sentient beings, and then it's you call the Mahayana. But yeah, something like this. The thing is, then yeah, oh yeah.
어디서 내가 좋아지 지당 지망 팬도에는 지망 팬도에는 대신에 하나 근데 도파시요 도파서 뭐 대승도지 그래서 나샤도 내가 또 나쇼래데 나샤도 베다 오늘로 슈니니로 직다 공이 되는 지로 사드니 버터 소타 사드도 뭐 시당 공부 아니에요 아니 근데 공부 삼바다 공부 찍고 있는 토바나 요 말에 제대로 되니까 깔롭스나서 그 토바시네 공부 토바나 요 말에 제대로 그래서는 딩이라 나셔도 요 말아 근데 공부 삼바도 공부 찍고 그때 나셔고 당고니로 니 슈니니로 니 이리도 간데 투성 공수간은 이거야 삼바도 공부 찍고 니
직센스 송지 좀 된디 미지도 디 직생은 톱송 송지 때 주니를 봐 주니도 토송데 연나고 송지 좀 된디 투성라 땡요 말이죠 제리도 삼바 gamba를 봐 삼바도 gamba 중부 토니 니요 제리스
토바랑 이게 나쇼 거든데 지다 슈 생다 나쇼 거든
나쇼 거든 투성
사트니에서 그러다 내일도 코랑 니브라 이내도 코랑 니비티 삼바도 bombe 가는 예분 토바랑 요 샤워는 네
and her question is he has more questions.
말해.
One is Buddha has become the enlightenment. He discovered something in his mind. What is he discovered? That's the true nature of the realities. And also this, how he discovered true nature of the realities, it is not through the study, through the listen, the teachings, because it's like before the Buddha, there's no existence of the Buddhist teaching. And he discovered through the meditation and contemplation or to learn, to study. That is her question. Very well. Yeah.
다다데 다잡도 동비가 다른 것을 남주대 사토르베스 드레
사토르 말이라 지도 나셔래 사토르 말이 오 내룩신이를 나서고 디니디 삼바도 곰베니 미시 토반나요 말이 전거다 나 토세는 해단 토그라 해 개베신이지 양 남바에 비 개베신이지 토그라 그 그런 게 사드 콩부터 내룩도 니에서 내룩도 니니 코르마 내룩도 당번 이어봐 내룩도 콩부 니에서 디니에와 때 콩부 삼방 곰바니 건 이어메시 딩다 토와시지 개베신이 해지 땡 여기 말에 여섯 말에 챙겨 들라이 동도가 셴도
할때 다데 나호도 야고도 당네 대야고래 옛날야 말한 거 삼로 당와 옛날아 제가 거랑 추진이야 돼 사기 들고 싶지 말지들이 옛날에 팀하나 투소대 지월 상도 디디가라 제때 넘버 매와도 말이다 넘버 매와 말해 제가 팀하나 나주 사트 나와 방고 토마데 마데 담블나데다 고 사투지 차대요래 그말 담는 쓰주라 다 팀한테 다 나주 요대 요래 그래서 냠도 요지라 냠이 요래 옛날에 디가라 투소대에서 지사되다 현지사되다 네 이때는 요래 상도 투소체에서 원래 도와제사 이제 요래 상도
and the answer is
네 맨날 exactly 성경 연합 지티가라 같이 연습해
나서 and he said is that not of course her quoting her questions and before there is not like the teaching of the Buddha Dharma but the Geshe he said maybe there is he said I think there is also some teachings.
Hola suta de nomba sanjivi chise de tomba shachat pali chongwarwa 콩 동부 니 지금 대화시 nomba sanjivi 나치게 정화 대화시 하던데 이 말에서
and Buddha Shakyamuni is he like kind of created the Buddhist path and also before he be enlightened to me I think he didn't study.
나 전대 되게 아니 잠시 so pati tla mong bu chi yong ni die na ni pe ten jik na ko pa pula so pa khilen ku yoti ga la o te recommend sam ne sam ni samsu ni ta gom ja ga sam le yes.
And the beginning is Buddha, some is like the Hindu masters, and some Hindu masters, they're talking about the creature of the God. And he's like, it's a little bit has doubt or the no belief. And then he's start his thinking and he follow his own way.
Indikala saji chamde de ko thumar saji te tewa shem ite le inaya nazo jinjik panamchi tewa se goyada yo masina gum jiwa gum ajana ton thong manjira saji song na yowa.
And Buddha didn't to study, but in the followers we need to study, and because if we don't study we cannot meditate, we cannot liberate.
Ta ka song ko na kar na ka devar sakita te me nam to ji bomba te marki wa kon sin na ta ba to ma so na to na ani ta bomba to.
If you are without studies and your meditation is meaningless, and then his meditation is meaningless and the result is also meaningless. All as the thing you can't teach. Kanji the Jaya the Cherizudo. Namjin Dajin Ronshon Gerlon saying Duala. Ronshon Gerlon Sanj Kong Tam Sonjiki, Tata Kong Sonjuk, Kong Tombo, Namjing Natsok, Jang Lobjon Soma de Kong Zayuri. Tsering Kesha here, Chulun Raman Hasu to Kesha here, Mixer Tromzik, Hindu, Kipatsosola, 2 years. And Yana Yon take Kongla 2 Tesi Giormani. Yaton Hena Natu Sonjik Rong Logic Ton Heyona, Kongo 2 cent, Heva Humala, Zuyo Segunduala. Shochan Tashan continued 2 here. Then it get to the 2 Tsi Rere Tondala, the Lula Kongo Ton Trinity, and this is the Chio Kongo, Gavashini Kong 2 cent Zuyo Son Chanchulis. Yana the Cousin Ditola, Nangchö Tata Chek Somba non Yanti Yomarite, Yana Konla, Heva Hum Jete Yopo Ong. To say Yanse. That they take it to the Konla, the Sonjila, Shoncho to hear the Konjushon Gernon Red, yes, as said, Kongo to hear Huma, Shacha Tashan Gondon, Dedunek, to hear Tsasevala. Then Tata Cheron Somba Nojik, Sonji Jum then the Tata Natsus, the Jitan Ditoniana, Doji the Wamba Son Jizri, they say was them. Yont of Sonji said, Womanla, Consun Gini, then in Tangamala, Jikan pays receiver. Then is do Tata Chosomba Concus and Ditula, non chute logions among the Jitan Dito, Yonten Yambala Tani, Chulu Yambala Tan Yondu, that in Digumundu, Sonny San Parkogite, Honsong Juyo, Jensen Yonse change in Dula. Then Dio the Meme I'm just to kind of the stupid answer, but quoting the Geshes to say. And generally speaking, one is Buddha's to use Buddha studied or not studied. Of course, one is like before he went to end the meditations, and of course there is no Buddhist teaching, but Buddha is the self, like enlightenment, like the same as the Shavaka's Buddha that I didn't say. And self-Buddha, and firstly, he has the basic education and all the circles, science, mathematics, all these things. And after also he has religious teacher and like a Hindu great masters. And he is to sharing this. It's not really Buddhist teaching. And then he's like difficult to believe. And then he's only want to his own path. And then it's through the contemplation and meditations, he discovered his to nature. And this kind of a little bit difficult for us to do it, but why is Buddha, and just this time is showing in that these 12 deeds or like kind of enlightenment, he has in the course of in the past. And in the Buddha stories, he generated bodhicitta is the great Buddha on the past. Maybe that is the, the past Buddha. How do you call that? Kashapani, I think it's. And something in the millions, something years, there was something there. Anyway, and her, according to her questions, in this life, he didn't study Buddhist, that Buddha Dharma teaching, but he has basic education, religious education he has. And then it's through this, why he become enlightenment, this kind of the conditions, and then he's like past, the like kind of the deeds is ripen in this present. Then he is, through the contemplative meditations, he discovered true nature reality. And other questions? Did you often do the check the pressure on zero, right? To check.
Lasso, Jabi, Rania Patrul, Ragi, Yandama Nambatan, Navia, Chenavana, Tata, Napshatan, she is the commander. Teranga, Korkap Chimbori, Nangchö, Motor Rivikawa, which you see Tata, Chonga, that Tony Tina, Yatrava, Tommy, to Sote, Tagasu Chimbo Jackie, Conshiva, Shibi to Zora, Tid and do something. Nandina Takanina, Tamao, the Children, Apogas, Seman, and Jokore, Murkiapo, Lobian Kit Sargent is a girl, Lobian Kit Sargent. Tamatsan is in Tagaki, Savitani, Taka, Japson Louis, Japson Louis year, Japson Louis, Kansa, we kept Jamdu, Tango danger. That any Tata Kapachi Chunga told him. Tepache Chonigila, Yanti, Tepachimbo and Saga, Kumba Zero, Konkuniga, Tepachim, Zero, Konkunziga, Yang, Tepachimbo, Janandika. Ayura, something that cannot surround. Terchin, Terminigi Chepato, she go to the Halu, a Kachimbori. Sina, Teni, Chamrota, Dodoga, General Pokazakins, Simans, and Divo the Chinabaki, Mutojina. Okay, Chakaso, Mount by no Pagatin, Nangchö to the Canon Ruikawa, Koso, Master usually Toa, Majimba Gatua, Chronotuki, Karatobole, Topa Karayuna, Yara City Theatre, Nayan Tata, Bokunda, and the Yanga.
Take some time. Yeah, really. It's like his question is, and he says like, of course, today is the great opportunities, and we need to ask questions. And his question is, of course, we are talking about the taking refuge in the Buddha Dharma Sangha. And also you talking about the Hinayana and the Mahayana, and also pretty simply we are talking about the Mahayana. But if someone is wearing the monastery robe, yellow robes, all of them is, he says, like we don't know, it's like really on the path of the Mahayanas. That is also maybe a little bit for the children to understand these classifications. And his main questions. And for the like elders, maybe they studied already Buddha Dharma Sangha, someone's not, but they almost know. Youngs is specifically for the young children, how to understand the Buddha Dharma Sangha. Maybe to give explanation very easy and to say, even someone's asked to the children's, okay, you are taking refuge Buddha Dharma Sangha. Can you tell to us how the children can to reply? And like very simple, easy to understand. That is he asked to, maybe can you say something? That is your question. Yes? Okay.
직더라 니다 심체데 다시 심체다 다 다젠바다 당만바 가르가르기 뭐데
라소리데 딱소게 가르디나 태파 체촌이게 딱또 사오즈 시고 그 랑아 태파 체촌이기 돌리 양 사오즈 때랑 조야 딱 사오즈 디나 때랑 탁 초인적도 말해라 이나 양 태파 체촌이가 택첸들라데 태면들라데 그저 시기때 때니 소 딱잠로 그 이게 딱도 딱잠로 그 kita ke pagazan ta seman zanjo ngone nga nambare nga chamdore nga chapsan doi yeran dane chapsan doi kang sang de chapsan doi ngo ngare do de ka khoja ke sema ki dog zan zan ta ba ta mambo de chejna ta zan ta je khade re samge ta yela
and he's to repeat his questions and also you making the classification of the Hinayana and the Mahayanas and also there's too much detail is a little bit complicated to say is like simple say this kind of point is you become the Hinayana and that perspective you become the Mahayanas and also he says like to benefit for the children to understand these three the refugees Buddha Dharma Sanghas not many things but to simple to introduce the essence of the Buddha Dharma Sangha what it is
어때? 다다다데 간데다. 다 탁첸다 탁만세서라. 다데 가르레스나 타과 침부 그 추단 로먼로세데 컨셉 셈제레세 탐티셔서 컨셉 향치게 셈데레. 컨셉 향치게 셈데다 가리지 요르세나라. 가르레스나 코라 제타 셈셈송세인도 그 코라 쪼스미 임바고리. 원래 차준다고 쪼스미 임바지 셈강가 conception do mare that simian bachi the tawa chimbo
and also the low weaker and the high weaker and you can see Hinayana and the Mahayanas as the principally is the classifications comes from the relative bodhicitta and in the relative bodhicitta when you generate there's a principal mind and the how do you call the samshung? Samshung, samshung I think is the subside mind of the mind factor or something. Yes.
근데 다다데 적혀 돈을 건dom바지 거래. 거라. 저거 산지고 공방이 톱고 산진 dom바지다.
And also you need to the aspiration I want to be enlightenment.
동어진나비 심제들은 향지 삼비가 논반이데 이지미지 거리 다 숨라고 창도하고 숨라고 창도하 대단나 심차버리 전세다 심차버리 전세나 현지가 군내하니게 되게 심지리 더 탁세 금저 심지가 가르스나 되는 향지 지문원도 거래 더 심차버리 전세라 그래 대해서 되는지
and the first is known as mind and the heart. Don't do mundu ke jut. Do mundu la. Sam ton samshon sejte mind and heart. Then do mundu. Karin to sam the sam in the true sense is the principal mind and add mental event terrible mental event. The principal mind and mental event. Sam tela principal mind. Samshon tela mental event.
드리 심디 란줄레지 소나 고 타바치무 간사세데 차레
and also it's like I forgot it and Geshe he said that whenever you are generate and bodhicitta I forgot it sorry the 가리송 되고 제그스 송 타마트 가리송 되고
really 대가잖아 대자와 현진도지라 대자와 현진도지 심티가 가잖아 조심이가 혼도 현지 친구 혼도 그래서 혼도 로지까지 혼 현지 친구 현지 친구 혼도 가리가 혼도 건접 심지가 혼도 현지 친구 또 그래 and
before that you generate the relative bodhicitta, you need to go the bodhicitta.
전자다 거기도 저를 시작한 거는 하고 말다는 대도 야 찾고 된다. 옛날 딜랍이잖아. 박장도 용스기라. 대디가 딜랍이야. 이제 담은선나 작전선나 다다다 작전도 작성. 다 남규가 간사 강이라 남서 강이가 날에 너든 그 남바 임바 강이라 대 작전 그 다가니 지고 기대도 아니고 너 요대 그 대디 가서도 졸라 다 담은 봤어. 다 답던도 있잖아. 들지 랍고. 라니 지고 돈니니가 지체는 거 지고라다 산지 콤바이나 테리 콤바이나 까 산지데 제용마다 테리 콤바라고 지 도리에 받쳐 지는 것도 담은시.
I think is that the deviations comes from your motivations, and the one is like kind of the benefit for the sentient beings. Other ones more concerning the self, want to be quickly enlightened. Therefore, if you concern yourself to quickly be enlightened, is you call the Hinayana or the lesser vehicle, and maybe that is the more easy to understand.
So to jinjara ta ngaso simyaboji shokeni kulong yaboji ji pe hagyang ka chimori ya ngari china ya kulong jingwa so na pe ma lekadile ne kulong yaboji yo na lekad lamron yo da tindri ga la
Most important is even in the mornings you need to concerning the benefit for other sentient beings. If you have a good heart, then is everything is good.
But the
First, the answer
is
like the according to the refugees, who is the object, your refuge source. And then second, the essence of the refuge. For instance, myself is I'm Buddhist, and I'm a consideree is the object of the refuge source is the Buddha Dharma Sangha.
그라 판 땅마다 강가 그 돈장인데라 델레 잡전도 땅 우어라고 맞었나 던지지 거랬어 반 땅마다 그 잡수 우이 점들이라 돼 우이 점들 when I 델레 가르치는 우그레스나라 등이 양제 찍라고 등이 가르쳤으나 그러잖아요 어수다데 란직과 탐질을 돌스 아 선지 좀 된디 그럼 란직과 탐질을 맞았나 맞아 라다 다 직된 비게 하더니도 주소를 잡선 로도다 단적이 매야돼 이게 잡양다 가지 체크면서 란지과 탐질을 돌스 옌지과 탐질을 돌 탐기 투지치 뭐세 나가서 뭐 강가 강가 통교할 산지 통교해서 콜라 추 가랬다 니가 왜 가래 갑도 둘라비 추송도 와리 그 같잖아 판담 같아 콜라 투지치 뭐 냐라면 봤어 콜라 판탐마도 투지치 뭐 냐라면 죽어서라 근데 판탕마다 감각 돈 잡거래. 말라티파 야고 따서 델라 야고 지고 대지 야고 지서 대지 이고선 티추니요 말이야. 다 동을 전나비 가리지나 뭐 가리 또 심지 가리지나 티초데 같이 지와라 맞좀 먹어 봐. 당신이 그냥 지하면 거랬어.
I think is Geshe lots talking about the Buddha, and when you take the refuge in the Buddha, because this Buddha is liberated his minders, and when he is liberated the minders, he has the power and to protect to the other sentient beings according to his compassions, and therefore when we are taking refuge in the enlightened, if it's not enlightened, like we never take refuge in the worldly God, these things.
다다디 다준로 마소나 또 진짜바디라 다다디 다바디 다바 야고 거래 산지다 추다 겐들라 다바 맞자 거래 다바 맞들 점다 세 롱송다 다바 맞자 장내게 근데 잡sun로 다바 이미나
when you are taking the refuge Buddha Dharma Sangha is a very important element is you need the faith.
Taba maybe manala karu chulun jomer te do oti na
If
ye.
you haven't got the faith, and then the white virtues never arrive.
Atu je tali zinjiri itina.
Lasso, tani kong te la kamen chi jamna, tepa cheshung sejite, semphi cheshung la roli dore. Semphi kari zido rong ton la semphi, chido yang ton la semphi. Rong ngaru ton jobu yin sanga na, tepa member yin dore. Che kiri zido te chen go long la shu yo nanda, chugu sebo nab yo nanda. Di masi nga kiri zido dorji tepa long lan jude yo zina, rong den re sona, temen rongshuk rendo gre. Cho chiri zido tepa member lam yang nga temen ko lam la shu yo samna, non ko non te chen kzi san sona, tepa member re go mare. Tepa mendo momente shobo ko sho dong shi chiri zido chugu na tong tenda la, tajum non ko non la. Tanto duga na rong den na temen yang, yen den na te chen yang si. Der, tema tega. Tani tata xiandu kong tata tisi song song zhe. Namchen da jina song ji la xiap san chu la xiap san chu, gendan la xiap san chu. Te chiri do jaga ne tong ne ko song ji chom de song ji tsab jis la xiandu damba te du te tala Buddha Dharma Sangha se le tori. Ti ka tana la bu jut nong teng. Lama la xiap san chu se ji te yo yong de xiandu kor yos. Xiandu kor ji ma se. Lama la xiap chu, songji la xiap chu, chu la xiap, gendan la xiap chu, se xiandu ko ye chu le. Ti xiandu ko ye ti xiap sun ro yer ti te yindu, ta chiri de che ke lama la xiap sun ro ge ji jinsen ye re jina, lama me na songji ko song te, nga chu ji la nyong to gu mun du ta ge lama de zu chi shu dan da ta zong so. Tani songji chu do gendan de che songji se ji te ta ta kong ko song zo, ta fa ning de. Tā kiri zudu sōng jī sē jī tē rōndōn lā tōwā ngōn dō chī, yendōn lā tū jī jīn chī mē pā rē dō rā. Tā kā sōng jī tē lā yin nā gō chō tō chī rā, mō yin nā yon chō tō chī rā. Kiri zudu tōmbō sēn hī, sēn jēng kī tōng, bār dā sēn hī ñām zī lōng, tā mā xiong chī ku sēn kōng kō tō yō rā. Sāp shū tū dā rō sān dō mā hī sē jī tē xiong chī ku sēn rō mbō chā. Kōng yendōn bā hī dōng kēn yendō, yen kō tōng lā sān nga tso xiap so song na, kong ki gandhi so xiap go kote, jiri zido, tsong man chen go yop chani, song ji la xiap son do yung. Song so ji so na, song ji jom tendi yin nanda, buk lama yin, jag lama yin, temen ka lama. Gandra ji ka yer gandra ji la song ji chan zong te, te la mi xiap son do yung. Jik ten ka la xiap son mendo zi ka, rong song ji me di tana, yin la jiri zido xiap to go mendo te ki yung se. Teni lamte kare rezi na nga su chu la xiap sun cho se jite xiong chu ku sen te la xiap sun ro yang se cho gure. Chu yung pongpo jete yatong ku nimbo do do te xiong chu ku sen rumbo chen reo. Tozo de chu ku nimbo xiong chu ku sen de ni xiong chu ku sen la xiap sun ro yang se. Gendan la xiap sun ro yang se jite xiong chu ku sen nyam la zon ken te la te pa chimbo gendan se te la xiap sun ro yang se de. Tas san ka te do do zu na tanda jil sam sam ngun zang go xian du ngobo da se gana 제그 tanti se xiandu tani kong tata songde xiandu ku yewa nanda xie yongna depak xie kare. Depak xie kare pe na xiab sun rosi yor koncho san la depak rap chi yona koncho san ki xiang la rap chin ju. Depak rinchi de me na koncho san ki xiang la rinchi de man ju. Tere zu depak tama chili me na koncho san ki xiang la tama chili man ju se tana depi yewa ma to xiandu rong ku yewa tan riri do. Tazo te 도도 수즈가나 손지추 겐단선세 데니스 텐송 테 몽보 셰근도 가르셰 요르레세나 자가라 콘초선 마도 문도 벌라 윤도 전센제레세 아다 보다 라메 줄리 타 그레레세 텔라 전센 요요르 몽보 요르레 연나요 손지추 겐단선카테 쯔미 용로레 테티 카타나 라마 네 고지티 전센테 다타 콩고 손바 농전지 그거 송지 좀 된데 롱숑고 게롱 연종 콩 히바 호마라 형춘초 투게 셔차 태생 건더니 줄레 콩 라마 마테니 콩 송지 요지 마레 다타 콩가 데 슈세 안에 저바 농전지 그 투선 첸들라 히메 좀 콩고 투선데 히바 호마라 주요된 생도알라 근데 저든 돌나 투선 그 송지 좀 라마 마텐 바니 형요 마레 송 또 저도 땅 맞춰지 버지 좀반 말에 lama me chadin digumundu tak lama re. Tandaji kanang churdiyon gompa mansam. I'm just to a little bit added to say the Hinayana Mahayanas only the deviation is your motivation. If someone's only the concern is self, you are automatically in the Hinayanas. Even you say, I'm on the path of the Mahayana, I'm on the path of the Vajrayana, but your inner motivation is only concerning yourself, then it's Hinayana. You just path Mahayana, but your motivations to bring in the Hina. Maybe if someone says like outside practice the Hina, but inner is Mahayana, like concerning the other sentient beings, you are automatically Mahayana. Therefore, Hinayana Mahayana is deviations comes from the motivation, and then for the children to understand the source of the refuges, then you can just say Buddha, Dharma, Sanghas. There's a three rare of the jewel we say, and also there's questions. Sometimes one is Buddha's be enlightenment. After they like few years, they start giving the refuge vows. At that time is Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. These three. There's no force. And then it's particularly in the Tibet Buddhism's added Lama. And also Lama's not end, So taking refuge Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and Lama. And I'm beginning and taking refuge Lama, then Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Because it's really generally it's the Geshe, Chonga, Tsering, and like kind of the without teachers, individual teachers, even like kind of the Buddha's teaching how we can to receive. Therefore, and other some countries, Buddhist countries, we don't need to recite to say I'm taking refuge Lamas. But there's a very, very important, more like crucial point. Without teacher, and then we cannot like receive the blessing of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and through that. Therefore, and each individual perspective, the teacher is the most important than the Buddha, and therefore we say it's like a check on refugee. Then there is the four sources of the refugee in the Tibetan Buddhisms, but generally there's three. Oh, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. That's all. That's all. That's all.
Oh, Karsati, Tinted Disha Jawa Inara. Pugu to the Lotani, Mrs. Kitchetti Rani to Namba Imbe, Hari Laura. And was letting Anamba in Laura. Tanamba in Lodi, Tanamba in Bitseti Gurani, said the Soronas.
O Tetisona, ni Siap Siandrun Dungios, ni Laman Songia, ni Lam Chuyo, and Trupun Gendamian, the territory. I make jokes. Maybe Geshe can give answer, okay? But her question is, and the children go to the school, and someone's asked to, are you Buddhist? And then as children's, how can give like a simple answer? And that is your questions.
Yeah. And the thing
and also chance he wants to elegantly add. What I give answer to her to say is like someone asked to you, are you Buddhist? Then yes, I am. Why? Then I'm taking refuge Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. In the suttas perspective, there's obviously talking about the three rays of the jewels. In the suttas perspective, there is impossible, like in the path, the lama. And in the suttas perspective, it's not only in Tibet. Even in India, there's many in the Tantric teachings, they are talking about lama. And the peerless first teacher is the Buddha, and second is the Nangchö. And in the Nangchö, some in the Shastras, there's one is called the offering to the Lama.
Choba Tangche Yangbane, Choba Tangche Yangbane, Lama Choba Yangda Zam. Denye Bene Gunjeji Yishi Chone Tober Jews.
And all your offering is to give up and to perfect offering to the Lamas.
What the Karasana?
And to make the placid of the omniscient, that is the excellent wisdom you can to receive.
Sanjay is a Muslim Jidibanaji, Koneta Umara. Me down, Koneta, Titolo, Zobajumara. Putting the sound of Karasana, Sanjay a pen, Sir Tobaina, this Sanjay Tamjak and Jojuchi. Sanjay wasn't J2 Medua. Jim would do and it was a man J. Ne. Manze Sanjay Geshe Nyen Yamslene Sosu Jug in Yomoto some nerves and a ta engi dewa. Your tatuba the Lamal can Yondidua.
I think as far as I understand, and the Buddha of course is like difficult to see and difficult to reach, but is a teacher is like you can to direct to see, you can to direct to connect it, and through the teacher you will be in the reach of the permanent happiness, unchangeable happiness of the enlightenment.
Chasa Din de Golia Geshe Changi Sosugi Saya Lama de Sudja Lama le Sanjay Chigri San Sanjay Chubapet Sanjay Niger Maris, Peshamamon.
And the briefly to say is like your individual teacher you make pleased. And this makes pleased to the all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas.
No, Cheda Sanjay the Sanjay get Conan some Sanjay by Sanjay get dance, Yahuchiduna, Jaja.
And Buddha he is like only entirely to concern the benefit for the sentient beings. And also someone is doing the benefit for the sentient beings, and Buddha support you definitively.
Oh, Cheta Din de Colia and the Geshe like someone Naji, Sanjay, Lama Sanjay, Nangchö, Lama Gindi said the Carsorsana. Mam Julia, Sanjay Bonichok, the Ginduko, the Tamang of Tobala, and in Lama Lamatemba, Yonto Meva is a teacher the song is.
And the Geshe Chonga says like exactly and without relying on the Lama, and there's no name of the Buddha. Also, it's like the Lama is a representative of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and also Yadam.
That's the under the temple Chisonsa, Momo Medanga, this is of number is in the cars, and the Rumachik Sona, Shamne Kunjos on the chosen Rangenda number is Tidirta.
And the Buddhist says like when you take refuge Buddha Dharma Sangha, it's saying like this.
Elandro Kujo Joseph Johnson Julie Meduna Navamaris, and not auto data. Kunjos on the chosen the Jumble Sosu Julie Mena and the Navamaris. Number in the maybe Oshasa.
If you are not familiar for the three jewels, then it's not.
No, then I suppose Lelabucheni.
If you introduce like this, then it's correct. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And a little bit, we took time, but it's like according to his questions, and very important, the opportunity. And the Karisena, to hear the Konamba song, the Jig, to hat, Chung Karchim will be onki, but you do so keep on here Kalangas Tongson, that they don't buy Yanayon, Pantot and the Yolid, the 2G, Travatankan 2G, then that is the Geshe number con some Masha Lance things up for judging, but no song. The Konambala 2G Karan, Nini chairs, 2G chair, that's all. Then the 20 minutes, we stop. Okay, 20 minutes. Come yes. Get you.